Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Another episode going into news and prophecy, leaking the things that are happening worldwide. All right, to the Holy Scriptures via biblical prophecy so that the elect remnant could know that the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua are faithful and true, and be comforted in a time of mass plagues, darkness, evil, wickedness, all right, and much more going on the left-hand side as the wicked elite are preparing entrance into their NWO, which they plan, pretty much to set up order out of chaos. And the things that are happening on the planet Earth are all judgment from the Most High. However, he uses the elites, all right, and the blessing they have via their technology and various other things to pretty much be at the forefront, because Esau himself is known as the sword in the Holy Scriptures, all right? So these news and prophecies are so that we can be comforted and know and understand what the will of the Lord is, as it says in the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Let's get that as a matter of fact. As the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And we're entering into some very, very straight times, where when you look into Israel, one of the main narratives is that there will be no Jacob's trouble. Pretty much, we're not getting ready to go through a position of difficulty. We've already been through it, and we're just going to be all right, which the elect are ultimately going to be all right. But as the scriptures say, we're going to suffer straight things. But while we're going through the straight things, which is the judgment coming to Babylon the Great and the various different places we're scattered, the elite trying to set up their NWO, all right, we're going to have hope, all right, for the wide things, okay? So those who are wicked, they're going to suffer straight, but they're not going to hope for the wide, all right? So the mindset of the elect is constantly set on life, understanding that this particular life, all right, is ultimately a sacrifice for us, okay? We are putting off this world for the greater later, all right? And the Lord has foretold and promised that he would, cover the elect through these hard times, that the angels would actually, watch over us while there would be famine. We would be eating. Now, we don't know how these things are going to play out. All right. But the thing we have to keep in mind is the things that are happening on the planet Earth are all foretold. All right. And the Lord is not making any mistakes. So this is why we have to measure the times diligently. All right. We're coming back into being a spiritual people. All right. In which requires us, all right, to measure the times diligently. All right. How are you measuring up the times? You're going into biblical prophecy. You're looking out into the world, as it says here in Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, around, spect or speckly to look, not as fools, but as wise. All right. Because the majority of our people, the 2/3, they're looking at everything that's happening, in their mindset. It's always been like this. Things have been bad before. It'll only get better. God bless America. Y'all been talking about the end of the world for years. And these are Christians. You have Christians with this mindset. When we talk about the kingdom coming, oh, no, I want to see my grandbaby graduate, this, that. This is why the Heavenly Father has ordained for them to just go. Okay, they're undesirables, and ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, the Lord will bring them back. They need a reset button. All right, the remnant in these times are the ones calling for the kingdom, separating and preparing to be exodused out of here. All right, exodus out of here, man. The second exodus is coming. So as it says here, Ephesians 5:15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, meaning you're measuring the times diligently, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Okay, the Lord have created the wicked for his very purpose, for this very day. All right. And they're getting ready to do things on the planet Earth that if you're not rooted, you're ultimately you're going to, fall out and lose faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. Which the spirit that's going to be in the elect. All right. Which is through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is what is going to be used to overcome. Okay. Although it's written from the foundation of the earth, the Lord is going to put a spirit on us in these times to walk in a particular manner and to be covered. And we just hope that we're of that number. Okay. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. We don't have time to play around and riot and think light of what's happening on the planet Earth, as these things are happening fast. I was reading an article, and I saw Apostle Tahar do a video on it. 2023 is going to be the year of hell. Now, these things that we've been talking about for years have been rumors and rumors and rumors, and we're just now living in a time where the words of the prophets are hitting, hitting in ways we never seen them. So it says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is. You see that? Be not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is. So when we see, where this place is going, we see these plagues hitting. We're not unwise about it. Okay, we're not unwise about death. Okay, we're walking towards immortality. Okay, the things that we thought were true, before this truth, we put those things off. We've renewed our mind. All right, which is where the war is being fought. And be not drunk with wine, whereas in excess, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making a melody in your heart to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, so the new song is what's being sung in the planet Earth. And as we always go into, when you read Revelation 13 and when you read Revelation 14, you have Esau planning his agenda, singing his song, all right, of what he's going to do and how he's going to recreate man in his image, all of these various different things, lying, using fear tactics to overcome and subvert souls. All right. But on the Revelation 14, you're going to have a particular song being sung, okay, which is going to be a point of overcoming. All right. Once this knowledge entered into our minds, that marked, the period where we are going to get the victory. The kingdom of heaven is, all right, and starts with this knowledge being entered into our minds. Okay. So we as Israelites should be redeeming the time, because the days are evil, not walking as fools, not playing all of these stupid games, not doing what the world is doing. Okay. But understanding what the will of the Lord is. So when you look at these particular plagues that are taking place on the earth, it's not a light thing to you. All right. It's a part of ultimately what's going to happen in order for us to get salvation. This is why we stick to going into news and prophecy. This is why we go into the MOTB. This is why we're constantly harping on prophecy. All right. Because when these things happen, okay, we should be rejoicing while everybody else is in hell. Although we catch hell, we're rejoicing because we know what the will of the Lord is. So when you look at what's happening in the planet Earth, one of the things I wanted to talk about, as I just saw the elder Ariella did a video on this exact thing, and I woke up thinking about this. Parts of the U.S. and Europe, which is pretty much the beast system, all right, along with Canada, all right, the U.S. and Europe is the revival of the ancient Roman Empire, okay? And right now, the U.S. and Europe are being judged, all right? Being judged in a major way. There's wildfires, okay? Not only in Europe, all right, which I showed in one of my latest videos, that the places that are on fire in Europe, all right, if you look at the map, is ultimately the ancient Roman Empire territory. Okay. which is ultimately a sign of the things to come. All right, you look in. We'll come back to this article, but when you look into the news, all right, heat waves, okay, are on another level right now. Scorching heat waves engulf Europe and the United States, which is leading to wildfires, leading to people passing out. Okay, people are passing out. All right. Let's see here. I was looking at one thing where, this guy right here, UPS driver collapses in front of somebody's door. Okay, people are fainting because of this heat, which is a plague. This as we're going to show you in the Holy Scriptures, these things are all plagues. Okay, as a matter of fact, when you look at this article, let's just read a little bit of it. Parts of the U.S. and Europe are bracing for some of their hottest temperatures yet, and we're just in July. Okay, here, so what does that mean? It's only going to get hotter, and they've been preparing your mind that these particular grids aren't going to be able to withstand the heat. Okay, so the blackness, the plague of darkness, okay, is coming. All right, which these are going to be some trying and challenging times. All right, but when we keep in mind that it's prophecy, and when we keep in mind that these lives, all right, we love not these lives unto death, ultimately that eases the pain. Although in the flesh, we're going to be like, damn, but there's going to be something in the elect, all right, that's going to, the Lord is going to put in us to overcome these things. Now, some of us are going to be martyrs. Some of us are going to catch more hell than others, but ultimately, overall, the remnant is going to be delivered. So these temperatures, which brothers complain daily about these temperatures, man, it's hot as hell. It's hotter than we've ever, experienced. I've never experienced anything like this. Okay. But it's all a part of biblical prophecy, man. It said across much of the United States, millions of Americans are getting ready for some of the warmest days they have ever seen. Parts of Great Plains are forecast to hit record-breaking temperatures this week. All right, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas could reach temperatures as high as 110 degrees. All right, and even, your air conditioner can't keep up with the heat. So if you have your air conditioner on like 72, 73, it's automatically, because of the heat, it's going to be at 75, 76. And as the day cools off, all right, well, pretty soon, who knows, all right, what these particular temperatures are going to do to those grids. Okay, now, this is all, everything that we see happening is all after what CERN did, okay, earlier this month. And now when you look up CERN, okay, it's a fact check. Basically, they're saying the scientists are not opening a portal to hell. CERN scientists are annoyed. People are thinking they're ripping a hole into reality. People are ultimately looking at what's on the earth, and they can clearly see that whatever they did or whatever they're doing, it put a spirit in the earth. And it's ultimately through the spirit and power of the Most High God, okay, through Satan. His left hand is at work, okay? His left hand is at work, and pretty much the conditions on the earth are getting ready to worsen to the point where they want people to, die off at a large number and then submit to their NWO. And we know CERN, the logo, is about 5 6s. So this is that man of sin being revealed. This is that man of sin at work. Okay. And nothing but wickedness has followed since the issue or ordeal with CERN. Now, when you look him up, there's all of this fact check, because ultimately everything Esau's doing, he's being found out. And it's clear that whatever CERN did, it's caused a change in the atmosphere of the earth. People are getting more demonic. If you brothers are at camp, you're seeing people are coming up more in a bugged out state. although it's always been that way, but you can tell the vibration because what? We're spiritual men, so we gauge things in the spirit. Something's changed since they did what they did at CERN, all right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say exactly what they did or what, but ultimately it's prophecy. As a matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Revelation 16:5. And the Lord is going to use your own elites, okay, to cause all manner of hell, collapse economies in preparation to bring in their solution. Okay, and it's happening right before our eyes. Revelation 16:5. And I heard the angel of the waters say, okay, thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged us. These judgments that we see taking place to this world are righteous. They're not wicked. Okay, and the Heavenly Father knows where each of the elect are. He knows how to deliver those out of temptation who are in the right spirit. As a matter of fact, okay, this is the book of, I know it's in the book of Peter. Let's see here. Salakia. This is the book of 2 Peter 2:6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, which were living in a spiritual Sodom in Egypt, into ashes, condemning them with the overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly. So plagues, fire, and everything that's coming to this place, all right, is warranted, man. Okay. And you would think people would learn from, the past judgments, but these are those same people. All right. So they're in that spirit. We have to be in the right spirit and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them and seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So as we're seeing these judgments hit, all right, you notice that it's following, all right, the reprobate mind state that we're witnessing befall humanity. Okay, we're witnessing rebellion on a large and mass stage. So guess what comes with that? Judgments up into the final judgment of fire. Okay, so we're getting ready to see and go and feel and witness all manner of judgments. But you just watch how Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, okay, protects his elect. All right, and you have to believe on that level. Although we're going to go through straight things, your mind has to constantly be fixated upon the wide. As a matter of fact, real quick, I keep quoting it. This is 2nd Esdras 7 and 17. Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wide. So we're going to go through the straight. All right. You have people coming onto the page. Ain't going to be no Jacob's trouble. All right. We'll keep living. Okay. We're going to be delivered out of Jacob's trouble. Okay. We're going to have witness protection from on high, because remember, we're witnessing against this devil. We're pretty much pointing out the fugitive, okay, that has been able to hide himself through pseudoscience and everything else. So we're going to be a target. So the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wide. All right. While they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things and yet shall not see the wide. Okay. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that have understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. Okay. For God have given straight commandment to such as came what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. So we're getting ready to see a lot of our family members, people that we were cool with in the world, be judged on a high level. Okay. Let's go back, put that back there, and let's go back here. This is 2 Peter 2 and 7, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And we're in that lot. We're in the lot of Lot. You see, all of these stories, we have to be able to link it to the remnant. Okay? Noah, Lot, Abraham, all of these various different things, man. Enoch, we tie these things into our position in the planet Earth today. Okay? And amongst this, the darkness going on amongst our people, we have to shine as lights. It says, for the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So the Lord knows exactly where his elect are. The sacrifices we're offering up clearly are being not being rejected because of the things that are taking place on the planet Earth. And we know once the elect are fully sealed, plagues are going to hit, and those plagues are hitting. So we're just about finished, with our prophesying. All right. Ultimately, they're going to take us off the streets. They're going to take this talking point off the internet, and they're going to go full blown with their NWO. As I was even as a result of these heat waves, as you can see here, the U.S. is considering declaring climate emergency as wildfires tear through California. So what will that consist of? We'll get that in just a minute. Let's go back here to Revelation, the 16th chapter and the 16th verse. So righteous are these judgments. Okay? Y'all touch the wrong ones when y'all put your hands on the Israelites. Okay? For they, Revelation 16 and 6, for they have shed the blood of the saints and the prophets. Okay? And thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. So that's what's happening to Babylon the Great in this beast system. Okay? Y'all are receiving blood to drink. Okay? Because ultimately this system was responsible for what? Wearing out the saints, taking out the saints. Okay? That anti-Messiah spirit. Okay? So judgment is coming. All right? And it says, and I heard another out of the altar say, even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. Okay? And the fourth angel, and the waters are all messed up. All right? Who's responsible for it? All right? We know it's Esau, but ultimately there's spirits put on him to do things on the earth to lead to the water being out of order. All right? Thus is the whole atmosphere. All right? Psalms 82 and 5 lets you know that the whole earth is out of course. Why is that? Because of the rulership. Bad management. Okay? So the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. See that? Power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Okay? And there you go. Okay? This is a part of the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. Okay? It's getting ready to get hot as hell. Okay? In Babylon the Great. And it's hot as hell all over the earth, but in these two places specifically, Babylon the Great, all right, in Europe, you're seeing these judgments hit harder than anywhere else. Why? Because it's the judgment of the Lord. Okay? And meanwhile, the remnant are in these places. However, all right, as we see these judgments, we're hoping to be covered. Let's go back. As a matter of fact, let's read a little bit here. It says, the heat wave is already affecting the region crops, okay, which is prophecy, livestock, and power grids. There's power grid outages. Pretty soon, okay, who knows? Because remember, that which is then is now, was not there a plague of darkness in Egypt? Absolutely. Okay. Parts of Texas and Oklahoma were under excessive heat warnings on Sunday, while Arkansas and Louisiana were under heat advisories. And these places are already hot. Okay, and you got to remember, Esau would have our forefathers, our foremothers, along with their children out in the fields in this heat, just working, whooping their asses. Okay? So his judgment is coming. You don't get away. All right? Residents of Texas, mired in a heat wave for much of the past 6 weeks, have seen triple-digit heat from the north, south, to the east, to the west. The city of Austin just experienced the hottest 7-day period in its recorded history. Yeah, keep Austin weird, huh? Okay, as residents there and across the state turn up their air conditioners, fears about the resilience of the state's power grid are on the rise. Okay, fear, everybody's uncertain, all right, which, go into this article here real quick. All right, nowhere to hide. 52% of the people fear they're in danger every day, even at home. Okay? Over half of Americans feel like they're in imminent danger at least once a day. Okay? A new poll of 2,000 Americans analyzed how they feel about their personal safety, and 52% feel on edge every day, which is causing anxiety. Okay, younger Americans were the most likely to feel concerned about their safety on a daily basis, with 75% of those between 25 and 35, yada, yada, yada. All right, which that goes into, we already know. Let's get it. We always get it. Let's get the book of Luke 21. Luke, the 21st chapter. In the 26th verse, it says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken when they find out that they're not in control. And they're figuring that out. This is why all of these sacrifices are going on. All right. Children are going missing at a higher rate. Okay. The things are getting more lewd and demonic because it's a sacrifice that they are sacrificing unto their gods, which is going to be rejected at the end of the day. However, the Lord has them in a snare. Okay, so these heat waves, as you can see here, are not just happening here in America. All right, it says climate change, which is going to be the focal point of why they're doing what they're doing, and the term that's going to, get people to, really accept this demonic agenda. Right, because really it's the management of the earth. Okay, what they're going to tell you, it's too many people, it's not enough resources, this, that. We're going to have to track this, we're going to have to limit that. But really, they need to be taken out of the way. As the scriptures say, he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth. That's really what needs to happen. The Lord needs to set up a rulership that is profitable, which is going to be under Hamashiach Yahushai and the throne of David. Okay, it says, but it's not just happening in America. Climate change is making heat waves around the world more frequently intense, scientists have found. Extreme heat in parts of Europe sent wildfires burning across Spain, France, Portugal, and other surrounding countries, causing thousands of people to evacuate. Okay, and that goes into the prophecy here. Second Esdras, the 5th chapter. Okay. In the 7th verse, it says, and the Sodomite sea shall cast out fish. And this is the Sodomite sea. It's out of order. The sea represents the people. And a sea that cast out fish represents a dying ecosystem. Okay, meaning it's being mismanaged. So what happens? The fish cast themselves out. Okay, and that's happening here on the earth, period. Everything's in a state of death. Okay, because of what? The Sodomite sea, the doctrine, the philosophies, the way of rulership, the poison that's being spread. All right, and make a noise in the night, because we're in darkness, which many have not known. Things are being pushed openly that have never really been pushed before on the scale we see it. Okay, but they shall hear the voice thereof, because what? You have the internet. You have radio, where everything you hear is wickedness, and it's making a noise. Okay, it's boasting itself. It's becoming a cry, just like the cry of Sodom. Okay, so the Lord, as he said, if he didn't hurry up and end this, no flesh would be saved. These devils are opening portals. These devils are using their technology. They're Frankenstein foods on the rise. Everything's out of order. Okay? Which is causing what? And there shall be a confusion in many places, and the fire shall shall be often sent out again. And the wild beast shall change their places. Okay, and we see that happening. And menstruous woman shall bring forth monsters, right? Those preemies, premature babies with 2 heads, monster heads. Okay, born with their lungs inside out. All right, born, 2 months, 3 months. Okay, and this is where we are. The fire is being often sent out due to prophecy. All right, going back to Revelation, the 16th chapter. Okay, in the 18th verse, it says, "And the 4th angel poured out his vial upon the sun." Okay, and the power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Okay, fires are everywhere. All right, as a matter of fact, let's check this video out. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, Salakia. Let me restart it. U.S. considers declaring emergency. You see? So you got this emergency. You got the gorilla pox, which that's getting ready to be an emergency.
In California have warned that hot weather is hampering their efforts to contain a huge wildfire before it reaches Yosemite National Park. It's one of the worst blazes of the year in the state so far and has already forced more than 6,000 people from their homes. It comes as the US climate envoy John Kerry told the BBC that President Biden is now considering declaring a climate emergency. Louisa Pilbeam has more.
This is what it sounds like when your home goes up in flames. Another home, another wildfire as California burns again. This army veteran is spending his wedding anniversary waiting, hoping that the house he left will be okay.
My family grew up there, my kids, and just sad.
It's over. Okay? It's over. Nothing's going back to normal. Okay? Spirit of the Lord is upon this place, for it to only collapse. Not only Babylon the Great, but also those EU countries. Okay? It's collapsing. And it's being done systematically on an economic level by the elite. Okay, which we'll touch on that briefly, but these things are happening in the world, as the scriptures say, the world. Okay, let me see if I can find that. The world shall fight against the unjust. Let's see here. Yep. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5. And there's another one in Job. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 20. It says, "In his severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword." Okay, and who's the sword? On the left-hand side, the Edomites, in particular the elites. "And the world shall fight with him against the unwise." So the world, okay, it says, "Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad," the missiles, "and from the clouds as well as a drawn bow, they shall fly to the mark." Missiles, war is coming. Okay? It says, "And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out as a stone bow, and the sea of water shall rage against them." It's going to be the tornado season is coming. "And the flood shall cruelly drown them." Okay? As a matter of fact, when you look it up, this tornado season, okay, There you go. You can just, look it up. And this was earlier this year, but they're telling you it's going to be more tornadoes. Okay. Record-breaking tornadoes. Okay. And, the sea and the waves roaring, that's all a part of the judgment. Okay. Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. And we've had plenty of eclipses and various different things to let us know, okay, the Lord is getting ready to judge. We've had the signs. This is why we are supposed to be in the spirit, measuring the times, being circumspect. Okay. And in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of the nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Okay. Which is, tsunamis, tornadoes, all, storms, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Okay. And everything they're doing, all right, we know that they have HARP, which when you look that up now, it's a fact check. Everything's a fact check because this man has been caught. And all of these things that are happening with the heat too, it's going to cause the energy prices to go up. Okay. Energy bills will push millions into unmanageable debt. Okay. MPs warn. Okay. And we ain't got to look into that. But if you've been looking at your own energy bill lately, it's higher and things are only going to get worse. All right. That's why wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our times as these things get harder and harder and crazier. All right. Our mind is going to be on the kingdom. All right. Knowing these things must be. Okay. Not crying for the Lord to make it better and to, and the flesh is going to, have you to think particulars. But we know, all right, that we got to dig into the spirit, man. So all of this stuff is only going to lead to, things being hard up on the citizens, which is what they want. So that eventually you can bow to their plan. So going back to Wisdom of Solomon, okay, it says in hailstones, verse 22, 5 and 22, it says, full of wrath shall be cast out as a stone bowl, and the water and the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them. All right. Now, the Lord said he's not going to flood the whole earth again, but there's going to be storms and floods in particular regions. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, like a storm shall be blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Okay. So because of your ill dealings, these things are going to take place. Okay. These things are going to take place. Now let's go here to the book of Job. 20 and 27, it says, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So the earth is rising up against you devils. Okay. Now the Lord is using your elites, but what they're getting ready to soon find out is that it was a snare the whole time. Okay. So this record-breaking heat taking place, it's a judgment from the Lord at the end of the day. Okay. Let's go back to Revelation 16 and 9. It says, and men were scorched with great heat, as we're feeling that, and blaspheme the name of God. And you can clearly see what's taking place on the earth is people are becoming, more godless, more, they took that juice, which, when you look that up, they say it attacks, all right, particular genes and parts of the brain that deal with, belief in a higher power and, religion and stuff like that. Well, you can clearly see it's worked. Okay. Our people, Jake, who took that juice. All right. When you talk to them, it's like they're worse people. Okay. They're more and more stupid. Their conversations are more and more vexing. And you're starting to see that they're blaspheming in the name of God. All right. Church members, people who've been in church all their lives are okay with 8-year-olds. Okay. Changing from one sex to the other. They're okay with the things that are happening on the planet Earth. All right. Why? Because they're ultimately blaspheming the name of the Lord. We're seeing that happening on a higher level. It said, And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues. You see that? And they repented not to give him glory. See, as we see these plagues, we're repenting. We're crying unto the Lord to deliver us. As they're going through these plagues, they're getting worse. Okay? They're getting worse, man. Okay? So these are all judgments from on high, all right, which are leading to total chaos in the kingdom coming. And this is all we need. Okay? So the blazing temperatures, they're causing deaths. Okay? And it's getting far worse. So it's clear as day that it's judgment. Okay? And we can read the rest of this, but, let's just get a scripture real quick. Let's get the book of Sirach, the 43rd chapter. Okay. This is, let's see here. Sirach 43:2. The sun, when it appeareth, declaring at his rising a marvelous instrument for the work of the Most High. And it's used as a work for the Most High, all right, to bring light, to warm things up. But it's also being used, all right, to harm the people, harm the earth for judgment. Okay? He's over these plagues, as we just read. It said, at noon it parcheth the country, and who can abide the burning heat thereof? Who can abide the burning heat thereof? A man blowing a furnace is in works of heat, but the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more. Breathing out fiery vapors and sending out bright beams, it dimmeth the eyes. You look at the sun and mesh, Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. Okay, so there's a commandment to the sun in these times, all right, through whatever means that happens on earth, whether it be CERN, whether it be the elite. It's ultimately the Lord, man. Okay, bringing these particular plagues in heat. Okay, in extreme heat temperatures on the planet Earth, man. Okay, let's go back here.
People have left with the bare essentials, whatever that may be.
Well, the main thing was family and our pets. Everything else is replaceable. And that's what what I care about.
3 days on, and firefighters say they don't have the fires under control. More than 6,000 people have been forced to leave their homes, and the fire may reach Yosemite National Park, where ancient trees may burn too. The 8 largest fires since records began in California have happened in the last 5 years, with global temperatures rising. The US president is considering declaring a climate emergency, according to the US climate envoy John Kerry.
It is less than ideal not to have the entire Congress full-throatedly adopting.
And these devils are finished, man. You can tell that they're vexed. You can tell that they're calling on these guys. They're tired. All right, they're elite. Putting more on them that they got to go out and say and do, and look at them. They're pathetic. They're in straits. They don't believe for 1 minute that these elites and these Edomites, they're lesser level, lesser luminaries, are in good case. They're good. They're bad, man. Okay, they're trying to figure out a way to hurry up and get this thing popping. Okay.
Some of the measures that need to be taken so that the world can see a very united United States moving in this direction.
Declaring a climate emergency would give President Biden additional powers to push his renewable energy agenda. But
renewable energy agenda. Okay, where see, they're getting ready to set everything they've been talking about. Okay, they're getting ready to set it up. Tracking. Okay, you'll see. And when all of these things start to be implemented and the people, you start to see that this man is truly the devil, hey, you've been warned. Okay? You've been warned. He's about to take it there.
Gosh, that won't stop these flames. Only the firefighters who battle on hope to do that. Louisa Pilbeam, BBC News.
Well, journalist Tom Lydon joins us now from the town of Moosade in California. Thanks for joining us. What's the latest situation on how the fires are moving?
There was a meeting just a short time ago, about 2 hours ago, at the Mariposa High School. Packed house in a high school gymnasium to hear the very latest. 15,000 acres have burned so far. To put that in perspective, we're talking about 24 square miles or 60 kilometers. So it's an enormous, enormous area. The situation's dire, as you said. About 6,000 people evacuated so far, no deaths or injuries. But there is this little sort of glimmer of hope. And the glimmer of hope is this: the fire appears to be moving in the northeast direction, in an area called Bryceburg and Heights Cove. Bad news, that is closer to Yosemite National Park. It is into the Sierra National Forest, but it's in an area that is much less populated. It is also in an area where a fire went through 4 years ago, a very large fire, Ferguson Fire. And while there is still debris and trees that will burn, there is less. That is fire-scarred territory. So the hope is that it will somehow slow this fire down, which right now is at zero containment. So the situation is dire, but there was a feeling of optimism at that meeting. I'll also tell you, I am one of the evacuees. I've been staying with my husband and I have been staying with my mother, and we were in an evacuation advisory zone.
Oh boy, his husband and him, right? Goodness gracious, man.
On the southern edge of this fire. Most of the activity right now is towards the north, but we were at the southern edge and we decided to get out while we could. It was interesting hearing that interview that you just played of someone who said, we just got our animals out and our belongings. And I will tell you, once we got our cat into boarding, we felt a huge amount of relief. It's funny, the psychology of disaster, that when the chips are down and you got them.
Two moles with a cat. You see, these are the people in high positions. Anyway, that's why the Lord had your asses evacuated. This is the book of 2nd Esdras 16:2. It says, "Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" Okay. "A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May a man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench a fire in stubble when it had begun to burn?" Okay. "May one turn again an arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The Lord, the mighty Lord, sendeth plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it?" Okay. And these plagues ain't going to be quenched, all right, until ultimately Yahweh Shai return. Things are going to turn up. Remember, this was the year of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai turning up, all right, as coined by the Apostle Tahar. Well, we're witnessing it. Okay, we're witnessing it, and this is just one way. I just wanted to discuss it, but yeah, when you get Revelation, the 16th chapter, all right, remember they are worthy of these plagues. Okay, so as the scriptures say, we rejoice when we see these things. Okay, yeah, it's hell to go through, but it's nothing that we can do about it. The Lord ain't gonna stop it. Okay, and we know a remnant is going to be delivered and covered. So we just got to hope and fight to be of that number. That's the only chance we got. Okay, so the men are being scorched with heat and fire. Okay, they're blaspheming the Lord, where everything that the scriptures say is happening right before our eyes. So we'll just leave that there. I'll get the other articles a little later. Hopefully I'll edify it on to the next. Shalom.